All right, guys, I got my motor back from Gary's. We got it on a cart and got it out of his shop and loaded in the trailer, and I got her here. And I want to pick her up with my hoist here, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it because before I used straps, and I don't want nothing pushing in on any of this here. So I'm going to make a bar right over here. I should have said I'm going to make something to bolt to the motor mount here. I'm going to make a bar that comes up. I'm going to use a flat piece of steel. I'm going to make a a flat piece of steel here with a hole through it. I'm going to put a bolt through it, and I'm going to weld the head of the bolt in there and put a square tube over top of that and weld it, and it'll come up about this high, and then I'll have a loop on the top that I can hook a strap to, and hopefully that'll work so we'll lift enough and won't pull into the pump here. All right, drilled the hole through this chunk of steel, flat stock, for the bolt. Didn't have a hardened one the right length, so I'm going to put washers in there. I'm going to give it a weld up each side and weld the bolt so it doesn't turn. And I'm going to weld this tube to it like that, and then that'll go in the back of there where the motor mount is, and I can put a washer and a nut on there. The top, I'm gonna take this piece of 1/2 inch and bend a nice loop out of it and weld that across up on the top here for a pick point, and that's what I'm gonna try to use for, see if that'll work for a lift for the motors. All right, so I have a hole drilled through my bench here. I just slipped it through that. Here we go again with my gloves with holes in it. I shouldn't be wearing these ones, but I am. So I'm just gonna run some weld top of the bolt and down the side in here so it doesn't spin. On each side. Nothing too special. But I think that'll work. Should work. Should be good. Shouldn't overdo it. All that good, clean that up. I'm gonna change my gloves before I burn my fingers. All right, I got my gloves on without holes, so I'm burning my fingers. See there, now it's plenty hot. We'll weld this on there. We'll weld that on there. Zip that on all the way around nice. See how she does. See how, if it works, hopefully it'll work. I don't want to do any damage to any of Gary's beautiful work there on it. He was really worried about me hauling it home. Told me take it slow 3, 4, or 5 times. And I drove her nice and slow all the way home. And no problems, didn't move at all. Now what did my dumb ass do? I welded it on backwards. It's supposed to have the threaded part up. Ah! Alright. We'll buzz that off a little bit, it's only tacked. Alright, I knocked my tacks off, and I got her stuck through the hole the correct way. Let's tack her on there the right way. right, attacker in the center, attacker in the four corners. That's that. All right, now I'm gonna weld her the rest of the way. I blame tacking it on wrong. Today is Tuesday. I was out here Sunday, came out at 5 in the morning and started working, cleaning the motor bay. I drained the gas on the tank, out of the tank, so that's getting ready to drop. I was out here for about 5 hours and I started feeling really sick. My body was starting to ache, just small, my muscles sore, my nose was running. By the end of Sunday night, I couldn't hardly walk. I figured maybe I got COVID. That's kind of some of the symptoms. Went to bed, woke up at 1 o'clock the next day in the afternoon and slept 18 hours. Only got up for a drink of water, maybe twice. Actually, I probably would have still kept sleeping, but my wife woke me up and said, you need to get up. Next night, went to bed early and I just took NyQuil and was up this morning at 3. Back out in the shop at 5. So I'm still a little under the weather. Anyways, I'm gonna put something over the threads here in case something splatters on it. Push my fan up so it doesn't blow my gas away. And we'll throw some welds on this now. There we go. Nice heavy weld. I'll go ahead and weld the rest of them. All right, I'm just gonna take my torch, heat this up, and bend it in a loop, and get it so it'll go on each side of this, and that's where I'm gonna weld it onto each side, and then I can put a strap through it. It'd be way easier if I just put it in my propane forge and heat it up, but it's so hot outside. About 103 today. By the time I pull that thing out, I can have it heated up good enough here to do it. So that's what I'm gonna do here. About like that. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Yeah. Perfect. All right, we bent her, heat her up and bent it. It's, I'm gonna go quench it, let it cool. It's about the right perfect size. Easy peasy. All right, I cleaned it up, put 2 marks there. Just marked it. I'm gonna cut her off right there with the cutoff wheel. Call that good for that part. we go. All right, here we go. I tacked the loop on, and I went and checked to see if it would be, my strap would fit through it, and it does. I'm just gonna weld that up on there. I'm sure you guys don't need to see that, it's just boring. So I'll weld that on there, and then we'll go see how she fits. And I finished welding it all the way around, and hopefully it works. Something will work that won't damage the motor, and I can use that for a bunch of them for picking. All right, yeah, she's a little warm. I cleaned it up a bit, make sure there wasn't anything sharp there. I mean, one of these would hold the would hold that engine real easy. If that holds well, a third of it. But as far as lifting, the weakest part of this would be this bolt. So we'll let's go see how this fits on there. Okay. All right, let's see how she fits on there. I grabbed 2 washers, a bigger one, a small one, and a bigger one. And I'm going to I offset this and I want it to the back. So this won't go any farther back. I'm double washing it with a bigger one and a small. Nope, I can't, because it's, wait. Nope, I can't. Wait, let me look under there. What do we got here? No, just a small one. Yeah, because that's as far back as, yep, just a small one would be fine. Tighten that up on there. Come on. What is the deal? Yeah, because you can't have her go back all the way because she hits. Anyways, so you can only go back so far anyways. And it kind of hits a little piece on that bracket under there. Now we'll tighten that up right there, like that. They're straight. Yeah, it's pretty straight. I'll paint it. If she works. There we go. She's on there. Charlotte. All right. So we got her on there. She's got one washer, the one smaller washer, the one nut, and that's it. So I'll take that and put a strap from there to there, go to the back. I gotta do something so she doesn't go sideways and tip either way. So let's work on that next. Okay guys, I have my bracket piece I made on. I have my straps. These straps I ordered on Amazon. They're fairly small. Vertical, these will lift 3,200 pounds. Choker, so if you do a choker on it, 2,600. And basket, 6,400. This here chain would do 6,000, I believe. 6,000. Wait, what is it? Sorry, 3,500 pounds. That's on a straight. Choker, you know, is usually like double. So this will lift a lot. This here will lift a whole Greenbrier probably. Just about anyways. So I got this side a little bit loose because I'm down on that side. I just went around the bell housing on that one. I have a few different straps. I put 3 straps together. I got the 2 one length, 1 shorter, 1 longer. And I seem to always make it happen with what I have here, and I do have more chains. I did leave it long. The reason I left it long is because then if I left it short, it is pulling this, it's pulling it in like this. So if I left it long, it's pulling up more. So I see I am on an angle, so I want to slide this forward a little more, like that. Get her a little more straight so she doesn't go swinging. And we'll try this, see. We'll see, we'll see. See, it looks like she's lifting more this way, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be all right. Well, not too bad. Pretty good. It could have lifted a little, about another inch on that side maybe. Not bad, not bad. I just poked that through because I don't want the chains hitting anything and doing any damage to Gary's pretty work here. So it's as high as I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna lift any higher. I'm gonna high enough to get the cart out. I'll bring the other cart over here, then go ahead and lift it the rest of the way and get her up on that cart. All right, I'm gonna finish the lift here and get her up. Get her there as quick as I can. It's all on that one bolt and that there. That bolt's doing half of the pick. So now I'm gonna block her there because that's where she's gonna be till we made it all up. Well, the Corvair lifting bracket I made to lift the motors, it worked really well. I'm happy it turned out. Still got to paint it, and yeah, hopefully lift lots of motors in the future. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Corvair Addiction.